Hi, it's Nat from Nat Crafts. I'm going to show you today my single signature traveler's notebook junk journal insert. That is a long name. But basically it's a junk journal that you can put inside your traveler's notebook or a folio. It's just one signature. All the papers go in together here. So yeah. So I don't really like the traditional idea of junk journaling with the vintage papers. And when I see vintage junk journals, it reminds me of like Victorian vintage with like pressed flowers and like some aged ledger paper and things like that. I wanted to try and do something a little bit more colorful. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through the first one that I've made and then let you know how to make one yourself. So I used, I've started decorating it too. I used some double-sided scrapbook paper. This is double-sided scrapbook paper. I used some pages from some kids' books from the 1960s, so they have really bright pictures in them. Some pictures from an art book, like an impressionist art book. This is a piece of watercolor paper. You can see too that I don't have a lot of blank pages. This is one of the only like really blank pages. So if I want a journaling spot, I just kind of outline a spot. Or let's see if I have another one. This one I glued down one of those Target dollar spot notepad pages. So it's a lot more about like the decorating and making it bright and colorful. Here's the center of the notebook here. So this is where I am so far. There's some little Project Life cards in here. You can see I've done more in the front than I really have in the back. This is a Target post-it note. It's a printable from Courtney Diaz. Go figure. I love Courtney Diaz. Little character I drew. Another Target dollar spot notepad. This head is from Courtney Diaz, and then I drew the body as another little journaling place. Here's a spot to journal. So the pages are busy, but I make places to journal for myself instead of having blank pages. I really kind of prefer this kind of colorful, busy look. So I'm going to show you what supplies I used to make this insert. So here's where I got my paper from to make the little junk journal insert. Flow Paper Lovers is the best thing ever. It's got all these really pretty double-sided pages. Double-sided pages are going to be important for the junk journal because you want both sides of the page to look nice. Even just a regular Flow magazine has some beautiful colorful illustrations in it that would be great to use. Then I've got these books here, which are kids books from the late 1950s, 1960s, so they're really bright and colorful, and I like using these a lot. Just got these at the thrift store. This is also from the thrift store. It's just a weird, like, off-brand fairy tale book. It's not like Disney or anything, but again, really bright colors in here. I really like that. And also this impressionist book. There's not a lot of, like, here's some color here. There's not a lot of, like, really bright color. But let me see if I can find one. Like, that could be a nice page. It's got color to it, even if it's just like monochromatic, like this blue, that would be perfect. Even if it's just monochromatic, it's a nice pop of color. So let me show you what I've already collected here. So in the junk journal that I have now, I have a piece of watercolor paper. I'm going to make a standard size insert. The one that I have already made is kind of a 4x6, or just close to B6 slim size. So I want to make a standard traveler's notebook insert. So I need a little bit bigger paper. So I'm going to use some mixed media paper. These are some of the pages from Flow magazine. Again, double-sided, really pretty. They're not going to be exactly standard size, but it's fun to have different sizes of pages in your insert. Here's some pages from that Impressionist art book. I was looking for colorful images because I had already taken them out. But these will be nice, I think, in there. And there's a little bit of, oh, not in that one, but some like writing space where I could cover this up with a post-it note or something and have some area for journaling. These are some of the pages from those children's books. Usually it's one side has color on it, one side doesn't. But that's okay, there's still some interest on the other side of the page. Oh, there's still mixed in here some of those Impressionist pages. That's why I couldn't find any in that book, because I had already torn out the really pretty ones. This is from one of those books, a little Popeye comic. More of those like science magazine or science kids books. Let's see. What else do I have? More pages from those kids books. Kids books. This is from just another random book that I had, these two. I just really like the colors and the textures. These are double-sided scrapbook paper. In particular, these are from the Planner Society, but I also have some, these are simple stories. Oh, this one isn't. I don't remember what this one is. But just like regular double-sided scrapbook paper works too. And then for the cover, I'm using the back cover of one of those kids' science books. You can see on this one I used the inside cover and the outside is inside. And this one I'm gonna flip it the other way. So standard size is about, if you take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and fold it in half. So let's just take this one for example. This is going to be about, oh, I did a crappy job folding that. This is going to be about standard size. That's not any better. And so don't worry if your pages are like a little bit short, because as you put them in, you can see this happened with this insert. As you put them in, they stick out further and further, and you've still got all that room in there too. So that's what I'm gonna do next, is kind of pick the pages I want and fold them up and put them in the right order. Okay, so the audio might be different here because I remembered to use my microphone. So here I have a standard size traveler's notebook insert. You can see when I kind of fold these, I don't know, we always call this like a hot dog fold. The other way would be a hamburger fold. When you fold them up so they're narrow, they're just about the size of the traveler's notebook width. We'll get to the length later, but I just want to fold those that way. So now I'm going to show you how I made some of the pocket pages in here. Like this one's a pocket. I use double-sided scrapbook paper, and you can stick little things in there, tickets, whatever, like this one here too. So I'm going to, which one is closest? I think this is closest to the Traveler's Notebook in standard size. So I'm gonna kind of fold it around this just as a guide. You can see I'm not really precise with this. It's a junk journal and it's not supposed to look perfect. And I just think that I am too lazy to measure everything. I don't think I'm too lazy. I know I'm too lazy. Okay, so I've got that part there. That's going to be the main base of the page. And then I'm going to fold this part over. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way. I want this rainbow paper on the outside. So whatever paper you want on the outside, you want to fold it so that it would open like a book like that. And then take this side that's going to be the pocket and just fold it to the edge of that other paper. And then once you cut it down to size, you're just going to glue two ends here so that you can put something in that pocket. So I'm going to keep folding pages here, and I'll come back when I've got everything kind of in the order that I want to. Okay, so I've got my insert pretty much together. I've got my cover here, and I've kind of arranged the pages in a way that I like. Here's a pocket here. Here's a page I cut shorter. This is the other side of the other pocket. And here's my mixed media paper that's a little bit different size. This size is fun because you can do, like in this one, I put like a little tab on it. So that size is kind of fun to work with. On a smaller size. And then for the middle, I like to have kind of, I want it full of color. So whether it's, you know, this illustration here, or just this really pretty blue piece of the painting, that is what I'm going to go for. You can see things stick out from the cover a little bit. That doesn't bother me too much. It might bother some other people. Again, this is a junk journal. So you can, you know, at this point, if you wanted to cut it this way, just be careful of your pockets, that you don't cut them open. But for me, I'm just going to leave it. This next part is going to be really scientific. This is a binding method that lots of people use. I didn't come up with it. I don't even know what it's really called. But you can see for this notebook, I made 3 holes because it's smaller. For this one, I want to do 5. So I want to make sure that everything is pretty much centered up. I guess you could put something towards the bottom if you want. That's kind of cool. Okay, that's going to go down there. But everything else, I think I'm going to try to center up as much as I can. This pocket back up here. You can see I messed up on the folding. So I'm going to find approximately, because again, not a mathematician. Okay, so I ran out of storage space on my phone, and while that was happening, I punched all 5 holes through all the pages and the cover. I also reinforced the spine with some washi tape because this is an old book cover and it was cracking a little bit. So I did not invent this next step, this style of binding. I honestly don't even know what it's called. But I am using this thread. I think it's for crochet. I got it in the crochet and knit section at Hobby Lobby. I'm using a darning needle that is maybe just a little bit smaller than the awl. And I'm going to start outside and go in. And I got a lot of extra thread. And go from inside. Make sure I find my hole. Inside to outside. Outside in. Oh, there's still some more thread. Okay. Inside out. Then from the outside in again. Now what I'm going to do is go back the other direction. And so just do every other. So now I'm going back in the middle. I'm going to try and go in the middle. And if this hole doesn't look like fantastic, I can put, like this is starting to get beat up, I can put some washi tape down the middle of that to reinforce it and just so it looks a little bit nicer. And then back through this hole. So everything's kind of nice and taut. And we are back out. Oh, let's see where we want to go. Inside one more time because we missed this one here. Again, not scientific. I am not a bookbinder. I don't really know how to sew by hand. So this is where we are. Then I like to go from the top to the bottom. Starting to lose my holes. There we go. From the top all the way to the bottom. And from the bottom, oops, now I made another hole. Dang it. Bottom all the way to the top. So now I've got kind of this extra, I just feel like it's extra security here. So let's see, I did this differently before, so we're just going to kind of make this up right now. I'm going to go back through this hole one more time. And then cut here. In a bow. There's probably much more secure knots than this. I know there are more secure knots than this for sure. But here it is, all bound up. It's not really going anywhere. Even if it is, again, it's probably going to be on an elastic in a traveler's notebook. So you won't really see it. If you really wanted to, you could staple it. I don't have a long arm stapler that will do that. So this kind of, I don't know, it works for me. It goes with the junk journal theme of just kind of messy but neat. Does that make any sense? Anyway, so that is how I made my insert. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I want to say thanks so much for watching. Think about liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.